foreign tourists to come in, open to sending your tourists to Cebu, just to Cebu?
Actually, at this moment, impossible because let me see, because Philippine embassy they suspend issuing visitor visa to Koreans. So
Yeah, my question was speculative.
yes.
I said, should we be able to establish this facility for foreign tourists to come to Cebu? Would your countries be willing to send your tourists over just to Cebu? I know that, as I said, we have several hurdles, but the question really is speculative. If we should be able to establish the protocols for the entry of tourists just coming from your countries, would your country be willing to send your tourists over to Cebu?
Actually, there's so many Koreans want to come to Cebu. If there's no restriction, people start coming.
Okay, Dr. Jean, if we talk about the entry, because this was taken up by Consul General Jelly, what would your suggestion be for the entry of tourists coming to Cebu?
Good afternoon, sirs, and thank you, Bob. Under the IATF guidelines, if you're going to really look into the green listed countries, meaning to say these are countries identified to be coming from the green lanes, provided that you are fully vaccinated, you are required to present an RT-PCR test negative result from your country of origin 72 hours from travel. And upon arrival here at the MCIAA, we conduct another test, and then you are actually allowed to go to your hotels if that will be for an international travel. Now, our suggestion here, Bob, would be to simplify things. First, the requirement should be a fully vaccinated. So your citizen who intends to come here should be able to present that vaccination card, because that is actually acceptable via the DOQ. DOQ will be the one to identify if that is, to verify if that is true and correct. Second, we will, part of what Dr. Zuzula and I were discussing a while ago would be just the travel itinerary. So that would be very important. So we would know where they are and where they are going. And third would be to conduct a rapid antigen test, upon arrival in the hotels or resorts where they will be billeted upon arrival. And of course, syndromic surveillance, meaning to say they should be guided that should they feel, they are feverish, they don't feel well at any given point in time, to report to the hotel, to the reception area. So they will actually be seen and examined by a medical officer. So, Bob, I think that will be very, very simplified already for these tourists who will be coming in to us as our partners for our travel model. If we will follow strictly the IATF guidelines, that would be for those green listed countries. There's no quarantine actually. That's in the latest guidelines. It's when you come from China and Japan are in the green list countries. It's Korea that is in the yellow listed country. For a yellow listed country, the quarantine will be 5 days. So you will be in a quarantine for 5 days. Your test will be done on day 5, and then it should be released within 24 to 48 hours. So you can already, enjoy wherever you want to be, provided that that is within your travel itinerary.
So these are the possibilities. With China and Japan in the green listed countries, please don't ask me how they determine the color. And Korea in yellow, I don't know why. But these are the possibilities. Meaning, if we could overcome the hurdle of the visas, those coming from China and Japan as tourists or businessmen need not be quarantined. They just present their vaccination card. Of course, they are given the rapid antigen, which the result of which comes out in 5 to 10 minutes, and that's it. For the yellow countries, why are you yellow? I don't know. I'm sorry to ask because I don't know how they make colors. But that is the 5, but that may change. For all we know, you may be transferred to the green. Okay. We all know that we have a hurdle still, but at least, Ardita Mano, we're moving on. We're moving forward. For our airlines, how does that sound to you? If we are indeed able to establish that travel bubble, may we hear from...
My question, Gov, is that having a travel bubble is multifactorial, and one of the factors considered also if, like for Korea, their citizens are, I think, more or less 53% for the...
Okay, let me cut you there. Which is precisely why our consul generals are here. And I asked them, should we be able to hurdle the tourist visa challenge? Meaning, if we may be able to put the proper guidelines and environment in place, would your citizens wish to come? That's up to them. It's for them to answer that. Maybe watas lugar, moingon ta, we are not in the proper place if we say, are you sure your citizens want to come to Cebu? So, you know, the vaccination rate only in the metro cities is high, but you know, somewhere else it's still low. Is that your point? That's their choice. It's actually their choice. That's why I established it first. Would your citizens wish to come to Cebu once we hurdle the tourist visa challenge? That's to simplify. Now, whether you want to initiate a campaign in these 3 countries and tell them, by the way, Mandaue is about 55% vaccinated. Cebu City is about 60%. You know, the Albantayan is only still about 36%. That has nothing to do with them. They don't care. That's their choice. I actually don't see how that should be of any issue here. It's opening a travel bubble. Why? Now, the vaccination card is simplifying our protocols. You present, if you're fully vaccinated. You see, that's one of the incentives of getting yourself fully vaccinated. As I've always been repeating, vaccination should be incentivized. It should never be punitive. This is an incentive. If you're fully vaccinated, you don't need to be quarantined. That's an incentive to get people vaccinated from their country. I don't know if that is their protocol as well, if we go over there. Now, maybe if you want to go to Korea, you might want to ask how many have already been vaccinated so that I will feel safe. But that's your choice. In the same way, it's the choice of any Korean tourist who wants to come over here. Whether he would want to come over here with just 36% vaccinated in this place and 56% vaccinated, that's their choice. We're not talking about the vaccination program. Okay? Just to make things clear, we're not talking about the vaccination program, but we're talking about this tourism bubble and the vaccination program from their country would greatly help ease the procedures because fully vaccinated individuals from green countries will no longer need to be quarantined. So let's not confuse the issues. I did not call this meeting in order to get a handle on the vaccination program. Because if I did, then I would have asked Dr. Jean Loreche to make a full presentation, municipality by municipality, city by city. But that's not why you're here. That's not why our consul generals are here, nor why the airport is here. So let's just focus on the issue.